Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, and you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, and you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, and you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, and you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Tailgate Show. It's your neighborhood-friendly Bears podcast. How's it going tonight, fellas? We have at Bear Down Loyal, also known as Biscuit. We have at AirJair54, also known as the Ginger Unicorn, a.k.a. Loney Pony.
There are many names for it. Ultimately, it is excellence.
What's going on, guys? How's it going, Biscuits?
What's up, boys? How are you?
Good, man.
Kind of bored.
Bored?
Yeah. It's that time of the pod here, man. You gotta.
Yeah.
Well, we got coaching hirings going on positionally. 6% ticket hikes, Jer.
Oh God.
You put that in there like you kind of wanted to talk about it. Got the extra home game, they're saying, as reasoning, possibly.
As a season ticket holder, I think it'd be pretty frustrating that every year that the prices seem to go up and the product seems to go down. So the product needs to be better. And you're going to hike it up 6% more. It's just like, man, come on. You're already squeezing a turnip right now.
I'm confused by the justification of that the extra home game being the reason for the increase.
All right, you ready for this one?
Oh, here we go.
I give 0 fucks.
There you go.
Because I'm not a season ticket holder, and I'm going to end up paying 100% fucking price increase either way. So,
statistically correct.
When the laymen that don't have season tickets get freaking see these price increase hikes, it's like it's like we've been paying 100% over fucking ticket value for years.
That's true, but now you can guarantee that 6% more of that will constitute 60% more of that being charged on the face of that ticket too.
Ultimately, though, it's not a big deal. I mean, if you're buying a $200 ticket, it's an extra $12. If you can't spring for the $12, you probably shouldn't be traveling to a game in the first place.
And if you're going to every single game and paying secondary prices, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Most of us are only going to a couple games at most a year. 1, 2, you know what I mean? Especially when we're traveling, taking forever to get to the game. So I don't know.
That.
It's a topic.
Jared's not wrong though. The product would be nice if the product was better along with the increase.
Oh, sure.
As season ticket holders have a legitimate bitch. I mean, it's not like it's the price hikes are turning into the just the usual. It's the norm.
Well, they didn't hike it last year, correct?
I believe they kept it the same last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so they're just doubling.
I think it went up the year before.
Yeah.
Normally they go up like 3%, right?
That sounds accurate. Let's roll with that.
So they're just doubling up because they didn't get it last year.
There you go.
Imagine what those ticket prices are going to be once they build Arlington.
Oh my God! Say it again.
What?
I said, imagine what those ticket prices are going to be when they quote build Arlington end quote.
Oh my God!
With expansive seating, probably not as bad in some spots.
You're out of your mind. SoFi got bigger. The Jerry World got bigger, and all of those ticket prices increased. When you're building that new stadium and you need revenue that you do not have, you're absolutely going to be charging more money per seat. You know how pissed off Biscuits is going to be about this.
Oh, it's going to be super salty.
He's going to buy himself a new couch to feel the pain of spending money on something nicer, while he's in his living room bitching about the ticket prices at a place he probably won't go to because he's pissed off about it.
Oh, I mean, I'll still go. I'll complain the whole fucking time, but I'll go.
Oh, he's putting a concrete bench in just to make him feel more manly.
Goddamn right. How sad are y'all going to be when that thing doesn't happen?
The funny thing is, like, you admitted it too.
Wouldn't
You're like,
surprise
I want football in the snow. I'm on my couch in a beach
Goddamn
area.
right.
I
Yeah,
can
no
walk outside in
shame.
75-degree and grill my steak in December and shit.
That's
Yeah, it'll
right.
be done by January.
I want to see fans in the stands struggling to put on a fucking poncho while the wind is whipping 30 miles an hour.
While
my
you're
couch in
watching
Myrtle
from your
Beach.
couch. There you go.
Yes, absolutely. No shame in that.
Oh man. It is what it is. I would like an indoor stadium personally because I would go out there in January. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to give a shit that you're gonna get freaking pounded with snow. You're inside, man. You're chilling.
Right.
You know what's funny is I say I want like the snow football and I want like the freezing sub temperatures, whatever. And I'll walk my dog and it's like 45 degrees down in Myrtle Beach. And I'm like, fuck, it's cold, man.
Well, I guess
Um,
yeah. Geographically, I think that's the difference. Like, I live in an area that we're like in probably under 20 degrees tonight, snow all winter. Like that's
Yeah.
the
Brutal.
being that I'm around it so much. The thought of
Yeah,
having
you're
to
probably more sick
sit
of
in it
it.
for hours. Yeah, I'm like, eh.
I don't blame you.
Yep.
But
We got
that's
like 3 inches of ice here, and it's just brutal.
so Chicago is cold as fucking snowing all the time right now. The people that live there are probably like indoor stadium. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fault people for wanting that. It just, I don't know. I know we've argued back and forth about what is the history of Soldier Field, and I know you've made the comment that, well, is there really that much history there? What year did they start playing in there? Did he?
Was it was in the late 70s.
Let's just call it that. So yeah, I mean, maybe there, not as
Or was
much
it
history there as what we all
wait.
think.
Or is it or was it early 70s? It was
It's
I
somewhere in the
I
70s,
need
I
to get a
believe. I believe you're
historian.
correct
Yeah.
about that. You know what? Fine. Move the colonnades out to fucking Arlington and I can live with it.
There you go.
How
We
about
have
that?
beaten him down.
I only say all that because I know they're over a year away from closing that deal. They were so non-committal in that press conference about it. They kept trying to steer away from that conversation multiple times. I think it's nothing more than a negotiating tactic. Who's paying for that stadium?
Can
They
they
don't
even
have the
do
money.
can they even replicate it though? Can they replicate anything from it
Yes, they can.
without the city's permission?
I would
Can they?
think
Oh, you mean remove the colonnades to take it with
No, I
them?
mean like even like
recreate it.
do that from the stadium.
Oh, that's
I don't know how it's
that's a valid point. I never thought about that actually.
who knows, man.
And that
But
stadium talk.
And what do you do with the naming rights? Like, can you not call it Soldier Field because the city park district own the rights to that name? I
Yeah,
don't
Soldier
know.
Field's Soldier Field has stayed Soldier Field. It's part of the Parks District.
Well,
when,
that would make me feel a little bad. I'm not gonna lie.
I got a name that works on 2 levels. But so Bezos buys us.
Oh fuck.
Ready? No, this is kind of
Prime Field,
no Prime Dome, bro.
Prime
about
Dome.
it. Hell
This
yeah.
fucking guy.
Think about it. It works on 2 levels, right?
I don't know if the Hallis family.
Prime
You know it's going to be
Dome.
That-
the Hallis
Go ahead,
Hallis
Peter.
something.
That would be a T-shirt, biscuits.
I think the McCaskies wouldn't even get the reference of Prime Dome.
Exactly.
It took
so that's why
George
they,
like 2 minutes to realize Matt and Ryan. He had hired a second Matt and fucking Ryan. He's like, oh, I see what you did there. That
Where
would
you
go
going
way
tonight,
over his
honey?
head.
Prime Dome.
And there it is. So we hired some people, it looks like.
Yeah, you got the list in front of you.
No.
All right. So yeah.
And nobody is happy about it.
All right.
Nobody knows shit.
All right, so
I'll go offense here. So we got
you got it.
we did
He's
we
got
discussed Getsy at OC.
Yep.
We got offensive line coach Chris Morgan from the Steelers. Also did work with the Falcons. I think he was an assistant though when Shanahan was there. I'd have to
Yes,
Yep.
he was an assistant.
fact check that one. We got tight end coach Jim Dre, who was at Ertz that kind of came out like Steve Young did for Tressman and gave his little player recommendation.
Yep.
I'm not trying to be negative. We've been there before.
No, that's cool.
Played the position for 8 years too.
Yeah, so a guy that I don't know, man. But Andrew Janoko.
Yeah.
if I'm saying that correctly. He's going to be the QB coach. I don't know what to think. I guess he's on the same kind of career climb that Stefanski was on. I heard, where like he can't the same exact position move ups that Stefanski had. So people have been making that comp because he came out of Minnesota.
Ugh.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, we don't.
So these are just my intros. I'll let you guys kind of expand on who you want to talk about. But and then the wide receiver coach, he's also going to be passing game coordinator, is Tyke Tolbert from the Giants, who's a lot of people say good things about him too.
The only question I have about guys like Tyke Tolbert is he really hasn't developed anybody. I mean, who's he developed at a wide receiver spot that's been prolific? No, not really anybody.
I don't know what years he was there with Demaryius Thomas in Denver.
The late Demaryius Thomas.
Oh, geez, yeah, I forgot about that. Rest in peace.
And I don't know who he worked with in Denver. I know he was out there.
Well, that would for the Super Bowl run. Is that McCaffrey?
What was the all right? Biscuits, you'll know off the top of your head because I don't remember his name. The guy they drafted, the rookie wide receiver for the Giants, out of Florida, I think.
Kadarius Toney.
Did pretty good.
Yeah,
that's one way you can kind of.
That's true.
Kind of see the little.
Didn't do much for Galladay though. Of course, Galladay is Galladay, and he's hurt all the time. So
right, but like he was there with Sterling Shepard for a while. He was with Odell. I'm pretty sure.
Prime Odell.
So, okay. I don't know if it was Prime. I don't know if he's been through more than one coach over there. I'm not sure, but anyway. A lot of people say good things.
So through 6 years in Denver, he worked with Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, who actually played really well. I mean, now a lot of that too is the Peyton Manning effect. So it's kind of hard to distinguish how much we're going to attribute to Tyke Tolbert and to Peyton Manning. But Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, Emmanuel Sanders. With the Giants, you had Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. Seems to be the most popular names.
So no OBJ. Wild.
Yeah, no OBJ. He was OBJ was gone by then.
Well, I got fact checked and
hey buddy, Google just fact checked you. I didn't know that shit off the top of my head either. So
any other coaches, guys, that I've mentioned on the offensive side that you have opinions about?
I'm curious about the line coach as always. You know, that Pittsburgh offensive line was not great, but they were very much devoid of talent. So, and hell, they made it to the playoffs. So I guess maybe there is some redeeming quality there, but I don't know.
And your guy said there was no legs, did he, to the Bill Callahan move, which is a little disappointing. I think once you hear that name, him or Harry, who we all know well, once you get away from those two guys, it's sort of like, okay, who?
Right.
A little disappointing, but not to condemn the hire. I'm just saying.
And not to be super negative on the Getsy hire, but I do have questions of the decision. I thought it would be better, being that he's a first-time head coach, even though he's not a young one, to have a veteran offensive coordinator. I think it's a little more risky with the guy doing it for the first time.
True.
Well, according I listened to Hogan Johns earlier, and from what I understand, Aaron Rodgers was stamping for that guy to be the OC.
He's done this before, bro, and they don't pan out.
That's true.
Was it Philbin in Miami?
Philbin,
right?
Yeah. And then what's the guy that Carolina just hired as their OC?
Fuck, I don't know.
He's done this for a lot of guys. I mean, he was.
It's true. That's true.
He was
point made.
They got rid of Tanyan.
Right.
Yeah. A couple other guys too. Like I don't know. Man.
Yeah, Ben McAdoo. I totally fucking forgot about him.
He freaking put him out there too. So who knows, man? The Getsy thing. I hope.
I think it's even riskier. It's even riskier too when you're. And I'm not knocking the defensive head coach hire. I don't think it really particularly matters what side of the ball he's on. But when you don't have an offensive-minded head coach, it does make that hire more crucial because who on that staff is going to call plays if it doesn't work out with Getsy?
And that's
I
the
think it's
thing.
a
Like,
valid
so
concern.
you look at these young offensive coaches, they generally start off with veteran defensive coordinators.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at Matt Nagy.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that Flus isn't going to be calling.
Flus.
Flus isn't going to be calling the plays, so he's going to have more time to concentrate on that side of the ball.
Which one of the Colts
Yeah.
coaches is going to be calling plays since Indianapolis didn't block anybody from leaving?
Man, I wish we were saying Flo though. But anyway,
Don't start that shit tonight with Harbaugh and Flo. I've seen enough of that shit on Twitter, man.
McDaniels and Flo.
I mean, yeah, I would have taken either of those guys over, Flus. I almost said Flo again. But I don't know.
Out of the top three, I'm happy with who it was.
I'm optimistic for some odd reason. I don't know if I can justify it in logical terms why, but I just feel optimistic about it. I liked what he said at the presser. I like what Darius Leonard had to say the other day about him.
That was a pretty good quote by Leisure.
Oh, did you hear that, Jer?
Yeah, I did, where he said, he's not happy that Flus left because he made him the linebacker that he is.
Yep. And that is his
And that
principal foundation
Right.
kind of was still there for them to work off of.
We've
Which
been
is
here
encouraging.
before, boys.
Oh, of course, dude.
Oh, 1,000 times.
Absolutely. But I just feel like after 3 years of being fucking negative about Matt Nagy, it's like, okay, this window of being optimistic may be small, but I'm going to take advantage of it and just be hopeful until they crush my nuts again.
All I'm saying is the agents are also behind the sell to the fan base, right? This is part of marketing your client. You're going to make sure the very positive things are put out.
I don't think Darius Leonard was cued to make the statement that he made.
No?
I don't think so. Not Darius Leonard and some of these other player examples, but
I
I do
didn't hear
agree
it
with you.
I didn't hear it from him.
I do agree with you.
Well,
Diddy.
I didn't either. I wasn't there.
Every hiring cycle, a guy has spoke about positively. That's how it is in the hiring game. But I do think there are player examples of what they're saying that kind of I put more stock into as opposed to, what Gil Brandt said, or someone like that.
So you say he's not actively sabotaging players that don't get open on routes?
No, and don't get me wrong, I'm actually excited about Flus. Just comparing him to the guys that we originally wanted and shit, and the fact that
True, yeah.
there's a lot of questions. Let's not act like there's not.
Absolutely.
It's easy to get there in your fandom.
For sure.
No, I mean,
we've been
we
through,
can
so
speak positively, but the reality is we don't know shit, and we're very much hoping that something changes.
I mean, I'm excited about him, genuinely, but like, also the doubt creeps in your mind because I've been excited about other candidates that didn't pan out.
True. Yeah, like Lovie Smith. Oh wait,
no, Lovie was the shit.
Lovie Ball coming back to Houston, folks.
Shout out Lovie. I'm glad he's getting a third final bite at the wheel. A lot of people were saying, well, Lovie, why would you take that job? Don't do it. It's like this is his last chance. I don't fault the man at all for taking his opportunity.
Well, the reason Lovie's the shit is because we're just such a brutal organization because he could never get the offensive side of the ball going.
Correct.
Besides 2006, correct.
And that was the downside. I liked him as a person. I thought he was a really good leader of men, but the offensive side.
Yeah, it's a shame too because he had 2 out of the 3 phases were Super Bowl quality almost every single year. There, it was just a fucking revolving door of horrible offensive coordinator hires. All rumors state though that his coordinator hire in Houston will be Pep Hamilton. I'll let Diddy take that one. He's a big Pep fan.
I don't have anything against him. I think that Pep, he's been here before, so everyone's like Pep. He's a lot of people speak highly of him, but like I said, that it's also that cycle. So who knows, man? He's worked with some helping out some quarterbacks. So I'm not gonna say he hasn't.
So check in with the chat real quick. We got BK in there, and he says, "You motherfuckers sound like Twitter. Make a stand." BK, I think that's the point right now. Is that how can we make a stand when we have a first-time GM, first-time head coach, first-time offensive coordinator, and we've literally seen nothing from them so far. I mean, yeah, I could sit up here and rail on it, or I could go over the top in my support. But I think either way would be wrong. We don't know yet until it starts playing out and we see it on the field.
And to reply off of what you're saying, I don't care if I'm fucking right, so I don't have to take a stand, right? Like, I'm just giving you my honest view and fandom of it all. Like, if I'm playing like I'm a fake ass reporter on here, I'm doing it wrong. So if I want my image to come out to everybody and say, "Oh, I really like him. He seems like he's going to be a great coach." I hope so. But what we've witnessed through this organization, it's still a big question mark. Of course, we want it.
Perked up Polian gave him the fucking thumbs up, though, didn't he? Oh,
Yeah.
Polian coming off of surgery, all perked up.
What?
That's what when he's doing Polian. Whenever he was doing the hiring process, he was coming off of surgery. He's probably on a fucking bunch of pills.
I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't hear about that either.
Yeah, he said he was coming off surgery. He talks about it in his interview.
Has anybody else heard this?
I had not heard that at all.
Christopher, have you heard this? He's in the chat. What's up, dude?
What's sad is a perked up Polian's probably still better than George on his best day. So
true. He's 81 years old.
BK, I still love you, buddy. You're my guy. I just think it's too early to take a stance either way. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone should fan how they want to.
Unless it's on Twitter, right?
Unless it's on Twitter, correct. Maybe I should write a poem about it.
Poultry in motion, baby.
Yeah, Twitter, man. I haven't been on there much, so I didn't know that was BK was mentioning what was going on. I'm not on there a ton, so
that's the thing. Anyway. That's the thing about Twitter. I think you nailed it, Diddy. He's like, we're not sitting here like a lot of people on
I
Twitter
told you
trying to make grand proclamations about what we know and what we don't know. I don't think any of us really know shit.
Let me break this one for you. Nobody knows a goddamn thing.
Go ahead.
Yep. Nobody knows nothing, dude.
Coob in the chat. My stance. It's like when you have to take a poop. You're hopeful that it all goes out well, but every once in a while, ...
Every once in a while.
That's a pretty shitty comment.
I like it. I think that's a great analogy.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you let JR moderate. There's been comments in the chat, and that's the first one that gets put up and then discussed. Appreciate you.
I mean, we're talking poop.
Thanks for the help, guys. Thanks, guys. Talking poop.
Christopher wants to take a poop and flush it. Watch it swirl. Like we're giving a film breakdown on it.
Jesus Christ. This tells you how hard it is to talk about the Bears right now.
We got some more stuff here. Here's a defensive hire. Allen. Okay, this is gonna get
come the Colts.
Alan Williams, Colts.
Damn.
For DC linebacker coach Dave Borgonzi, gentlemen. Colts.
Oh,
defensive backs, James
you said his name right.
Colts. Defensive line, Chris Rumpf, Texans.
Hey.
Oh, at least he's coming from
AFC South.
Chris Rumpf was here at one point. Was he not?
He covered two also. So
yeah, Chris has coached here before.
My Rumpf.
And I think Deshae Townsend's staying as a secondary coach too.
Is he?
Really?
He's on the website still. I don't know if.
Wasn't that something? Of all the coaches that I didn't know would have a chance.
Strength and conditioning coach is staying also.
He did really good work with Kendall Vildor this past year.
So any of those names on defense? I know
why so many fucking Colts?
Why do you hate everything popular in Indiana?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty natural that he's going to transition a lot of that staff over here for, continuity. I think it makes his life on the defensive side of the ball a little bit easier.
Opposing teams have the right to block hires, correct?
Jerry,
correct. If it's a lateral move. If it's a promotion, then no.
Jerry, you hate Notre Dame. You hate the Colts. So you hate the two popular teams in Indiana.
I would say the Colts are probably second most popular to the Bears.
I'm talking from Indiana, Jerry.
Fuck the Colts. That's all I got to say about that.
You hate where you live, bro.
Pretty much. You been here? First time?
I hate the Patriots, but they're in Massachusetts, so it's not that big of a deal.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, I was about to blast
just-
you for hating somewhere that you live, but I also hate where I live, so I'm just gonna keep my fucking mouth shut.
that's right, Kakalaki.
That's right.
Feels mad positive.
But yeah, man, it's just weird.
Hate where I live too, brother.
Dude, no, I hate it because in the fucking chat, you're like, oh, these fucking Southerner. I'm like, God damn it, I'm not from the South, and I have no comeback for it. Yeah, Rumpf is a holdover.
Yeah, and I just found it odd that the Colts just said, okay. Nobody got moved up.
Whatchamacallit did.
Okay, so Rumpf was
Benghazi didn't.
Alan Williams was promoted to defensive coordinator.
Just a correction on Rumpf. He did at one time. I was trying to read up on shit very quickly before we went tonight because I didn't think we were going. He did work with the Texans. I don't know. He's a holdover from the last staff, I guess, right? Is what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to correct myself for people that hold people to the fire.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was here. I didn't even remember he was on the fucking staff.
But yeah, I just find it,
Do any of the guys that I just mentioned do anything for your staff biscuits?
No, I'd say no. I sort of like the fact that they've come over from the Colts, though. Like I said, it's a continuity type thing. I guess I feel a little better about that, but no, I mean, yeah. I don't know what the fuck Alan Williams is going to bring as defensive coordinator here.
I think it's somebody that's been around loose long enough to be able to call his defense so he can focus on the whole team. So if you have, like you said, the continuity matters because they'll know exactly how he wants it run. If he's giving up the reins, it's a perfect bill.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and you think about the previous regime, Nagy brought nobody.
So I was going to touch. I'm going to touch on something after I bring up the special team hire here. Richard Hightower from the 49ers is going to be our special team coach. So what do you guys think about him?
Their special teams were kind of, but it's talent, man. You got to put talent in position. Does he do that consistently? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, Robbie Gold
got progressively worse year after year there in San Francisco.
Sure, but they came up big against the Packers, weak asses.
Yes, they did.
But how much of that was just the Packers special teams being fucking god awful? They had 10 guys on the field in that one fucking blocked field goal.
You hate to see it. You really do.
But more importantly, you'll love to see it.
You'll love to see it.
I think.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, can he do what Tabor did? I think possibly. I mean, Jakeem Grant is a free agent, so that was your return man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would like to think that Jakeem Grant would be retained for that purpose. He also showed a little bit in the receiving game. So, I mean, if you can keep some talent for the guy to coach, yeah, he could be successful.
It's a pretty positive review coming from the biggest Chris Tabor fan I know, Jer. I'm actually pretty...
Well, yeah, and Jakub in the chat is saying how we've never talked about a special team coach in the offseason. We have.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah. Tabor, we got a Tabor hater that couldn't make it tonight, but yeah.
Tabor thought he's watching the Bulls. The fuck ever.
So yeah, we've talked special team coaches before, and
hey, he had puppy class too tonight. Okay.
Bitches, man, I'm telling you.
Beans needs the
one thing.
Dog joke, yes.
One thing I will say about the coaching hires, in my opinion, at least they're guys that are active. They're guys that are actively from a lot of them from good organizations. I mean, we were getting hires. Nagy's second time around with his staff. These were guys that were like the fucking valet for Penn State's wide receivers. They weren't even working. They were like consultants for freaking seriously, they were out of the NFL.
Absolutely. Well, I think that tells you about the caliber of man that he really was at the football level. If you can't get football guys to go with you, that's a pretty rough scene, bro.
I mean, most likely there's going to be some on this list that we named tonight that aren't going to make the cut second or third year. I mean, you got to feel that out too. So hopefully it's just not the big dogs, the OC or anything like that. Like, you know what I mean? There's people that are going to get promoted, all that shit. So
I'm just happy Mike Furry's not on the staff anymore.
I think it's,
Goldberg
I mean,
Jr.
to be honest, like, we know what the fuck we're talking about. Like, he could be a really good coach, and we just don't have the talent. We don't even know anymore.
Right. Mike Furry?
Yeah, like, I don't like him, dude. I thought Groh was much better when he was here. That was kind of my dude at wide receiver coach. But I think Furry's just such an easy target. Like, we don't really know what's going on and how these guys are coaching on the sidelines and all that shit. But, like, he's such an easy target because he's like he was like Royd fucking Nagy. Like,
I think that's Royd Nagy.
Some of these guys may flourish other places that not being with Nagy. Who the hell knows?
This is what the previous coaching staff's done to us, though. We question everything. It's like, oh, well, nobody went with Nagy, but now this guy's got everybody coming over. So what does that mean? Does that mean these guys suck and the other team doesn't want to keep them? Does it mean that we're a bunch of idiots? And I don't know.
But not a lot of these guys have like gone on and found other jobs soon. Dave Ragone got a job, but Dave Ragone was a holdover from his staff. Right. Who else? Someone else just got a job.
Did Champ Kelly get a job?
Yeah, Champ Kelly got a job.
I don't know. That's not coaching staff related, I don't believe. But
no, but someone else from Nagy's staff. I can't remember who off the top of my head, but they just got another job. My point is, like, you don't see Juan Castillo rushing to get a job.
He wasn't even in the league.
That's my point, though. So it's like, yeah, we can sit here and say we truly don't know if these guys are good coaches or not, but I think it does speak some volumes that none of these guys are really like getting snatched up quick.
Let's call a 40-year-old man who's fishing to play left tackle for us. That's a good idea, right?
He played fine.
Jason played great, but just the thought process to get you there, that could have went way south. Not that it went that great anyway.
I think that was more on Ryan than it was on Juan. I don't know how. I mean, again, I don't know how much input Juan had on personnel decisions coming in. Those are the only things behind closed doors I think Diddy's referencing that we really just don't have any insight on. As much as people on Twitter like to tell you that they have that insight.
We went in the way back machine with some of that.
Yeah, we did. We do that sometimes.
But so the one of the bigger what I wanted to bring up before is a lot of people talk about when guys leave Belichick, but he doesn't let people plug from his staff. So the guys aren't really bringing people with them generally. I mean, he let McDaniels for some odd reason, upper management wise, but
they don't promote within.
They don't let you take a lot of positional coaches with you. And that's part of what I'm saying. That's part of that's set up for failure. You're not putting anybody you're familiar with around you. At least he's bringing guys in with him that he's familiar with. So that's big. Biscuits wants to get to the chat, so thank you for holding back.
No, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself with that last comment in the chat. I just saw it, and that just gave me a good fucking laugh.
What is it? Chris
knows what's up. But the last comment from Chris in there.
You'll thank me tomorrow? All right.
I love you, Chris. That made my night.
Thank him tomorrow.
All right.
That's in reference to, yeah.
To? Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. There we
go. What?
So yeah.
Just hit me.
Just go let it breathe. Let it breathe, boys.
All right. Not a mute toot.
No, not AA. No, definitely not AA.
Cheers, way off.
I'd fucking name AA. I wouldn't be sensitive. Like
I have no idea. That's fine. I don't fucking care.
Got a Pacers fan on right now that's not keeping pace.
Jer,
no.
Jer, you know, because he told you. You know,
I act like a bunch of little bitches and talking code like we're a bunch of like.
That's pretty much
Like
what we
we-
are. But
Like
three
we have a
women
chat and go on
podcast.
Twitter and do the same thing and stuff. We're not
Do
on
we,
that
though?
level. We're talking.
Do we, though?
We're trying to talk in secret code for people that are listening to a show. So they're probably
Okay.
all set with it.
There it is.
Me and Biscuits understand what's going on though. Yeah.
I'm slow, so
Oh,
that's
it's-
established.
Sorry, the chat's just so good right now. I just can't help
Okay.
it.
Well, Jer, what I could say is, I've told all of you.
Oh shit! Here we go.
You get it now?
Yeah,
Takes
Got
some
it.
Indiana boys a few minutes to put the pieces
I had a
together.
rough day, man.
Oh, you got it because you. Yeah, okay, all right. Anyway, so that took us off kilter here, which you know what, it's gonna be like this all off season, so get used to it.
Right.
I
It'll
think we're
get
more
better.
on kilter than normal, actually. To be quite honest, with
You brought up a interesting scenario about what's coming up first in the Bears' major developments after the coaches free agency.
You are on professional shit tonight, Jer, and I love it.
Oh, I'm pro.
No, you are. You brought us right. You brought
yeah,
us
he got
right
us
back.
back on after me and Goku just
Yes!
derailed the whole fucking thing. Let me put my serious glasses back on.
And you
my
know what's
free
crazy?
agency
I
analysis glasses.
was along for the ride too, Biscuits.
I know. I was shocked. Actually, you're usually the one trying to shut
You're
our,
in the chat.
our side
Fucking
tracks down.
control the show. That might not be a bad idea. We might.
That's, I don't know why Diddy wants me to be chat moderator because I'm like a fucking squirrel. I'm just like, oh.
You only get like that when Yakub drops his nut, though. That's the only time you get squirrely.
Yeah, Yakub gets me all riled up. He's got like the same sense of humor as me.
He's like your dirty little secret.
A little bit.
It's all good, man. It's all love.
I showed him a secret about McDaniel today on the timeline. He was like, I think he was very shocked. I think a lot of people were.
So you're telling Yakub dirty little secrets. This is the kind of breaking news you're here for. You're gonna really enjoy this off season.
Listen, this is top quality pod content, okay? So
This is Stoned Raiders going after it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. It's the devil's lettuce. Don't never touch the stuff.
So
yes.
free agency.
Right. Well, yeah, this is what Jay was kind of segueing into. Kind of maybe one position group a week in free agency because that's what comes first. Pause. Free agency hits first, right? Everybody's in the draft mode. But
Right.
let's try to go in order here because like you're gonna get burnt out talking draft for too long. So
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
speaking of draft, Jay, we'll talk later about what you saw live from the sidelines at the Senior Bowl.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't watch Senior Bowl. I didn't watch Pro Bowl, but we'll talk about that later.
You didn't
So-
watch the Senior Bowl? Oh man. Bro.
Wide receivers is kind of the position that we brought up, and
Yeah.
ask you guys to go through the list. Kind of give everyone the names that you're interested in. Go ahead, Biscuits.
So if we're staying away from the popular names like the Godwins, the Devontaes, and stuff like that, which I wouldn't be surprised if Poles does make a move from one of those guys. I think the situation with Godwin and Gallup now changes their market value. Sort of like A-Rob when he was leaving Jacksonville off that ACL.
Share full
So-
screen them.
I got three guys that are I would consider lower tier guys. One guy is maybe on that fringe tier 1, tier 2, and that would be Mike Williams. Dynamic
Okay.
playmaker, has injury concerns. Can he stay healthy? But a guy that can really go up and get the ball and provide for Justin. A guy in the slot I really like is Christian Kirk, someone who I think maybe hasn't been showcased enough in Arizona.
And pause, by the way, a little delayed pause, but a guy in the slot.
Christian Kirk. Interesting.
He's,
And they
he's-
kinda-
he's quick in the slot too. I'm just saying.
Yes. Well, and they made the move for the Purdue kid last year, and that really
Yeah.
kind of ate into his time. So
Sure did. Absolutely. And then the third and final guy, which a guy that I was super fucking high at coming out of the draft, and he's flash potential at times. I think some of it might be the quarterback play that's fallen off there in Pittsburgh. is not TikTok star Juju Smith-Schuster, but James Washington,
Son of a
Oklahoma
bitch.
State. Was that your boy?
Yeah.
Was that your guy? Is that your guy?
Motherfucker gets 3 guys. I pick 1. And that's what happens.
Bro, great minds think alike, man. I'm glad we're
I'm
in
just
agreement
looking at
on
the
that.
I'm just looking at the list. It's
Go,
not stellar.
you go ahead on your thoughts of
No,
Mr.
no, no.
Washington.
You, sir. That was your guy. I expanded a little bit on
No,
Kirk
no, no. It's
Williams.
fine,
Go
dude.
for
It's
it.
fine. I really liked him. What I saw of him out of college, there were glimpses. I'm not saying the same,
do.
and he played bigger than his size in college.
Yes.
Kind of reminded me of Antonio Brown skill set when he was in college.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's worth getting a second shot. There's potential there, man. Yeah, I sometimes got change of scenery can do it.
And more
Not saying-
upside than like a Marcus fucking Wheaton, you know? This guy,
What
I think,
about a
is
guy like
way
a
more skilled.
DJ Chark? What about a guy like a DJ Chark out of Jacksonville?
BK in the chat's with you on that one.
I mean, that's in South Elgin also. I think that's a guy that produced on a not great team. You could probably get him relatively inexpensive. And that's going to be the mode that we're going to have to be in. You know, we don't have, I mean, 40 million seems like a lot, but when you've got as many holes in the roster as we do,
Yeah, but Washington could be the same range.
you might bring them both. Because I don't think Demarius Bird's going to come back. I don't think Marquise Goodwin's there. You know what I'm saying?
You got to.
There's going to be holes in it.
Early in your draft.
I think people are going to be upset about the draft.
In what way?
Oh, well, I get the feeling we're going to go defense heavy.
Well, matter of fact, everybody gets upset about the draft no matter what the fuck we do, except for the Fields pick. I think it's the one time we were ever united as a fan base. But
We should get upset about things that we have no idea how they're going to pan out, don't we?
yeah, absolutely, that's classic fan overreaction. But what do you guys think about Will Fuller? I think he's a really interesting guy. Can't fucking stay healthy for the life of him, but when he is healthy,
Where do you go to school at?
Chris Carter, all he does is catch touchdowns, man.
Name a more talented receiver than Will Fuller out of Indiana, Jer.
Westbrook that scores touchdowns and actually plays for Tennessee instead of getting popped for PEDs and sitting on the bench with injuries.
Wow, Westbrook's in Tennessee now.
Different Westbrook.
D.D.
Yes.
Westbrook, right?
No, not that Westbrook.
Oh, my bad.
What Westbrook, Jer?
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Michael Westbrook, I think is his name. I can't remember.
from
No, he's from
Colorado
Indiana.
State, from Colorado, back with Cordell Stewart.
No, fucker. Hold on, you're gonna make me pull this up because I can't remember his name right off the bat.
So, if you didn't know, Jared loves Indiana, and I'm a Notre Dame fan, and he always tries. At least, honestly, I give him credit. He tries shooting up the ladder, like way up the ladder. So he's basically shitting on one Notre Dame player and trying to look in his phone. to
Nick
see if there's
Westbrook.
one Hoosier that might be better than one of our receivers that hasn't really panned out consistently.
We had Jerome.
Well, I mean-
Simpson.
Jared, that's probably the best receiver you've had out of Indiana, right?
Nah, I don't know about that because the guy that used to play for the Giants, his return man's got rings. I can't think of his name either, but whatever.
Here's a name for you, Tim Brown, bro, Notre Dame.
Oh, congratulations. Gets accused of hanging on to the past too much, brings up Tim Brown.
Jerome
Hey.
Simpson went to Coastal, had a pound of pot delivered to his house and got busted. So
That's what's up.
what y'all got on that one?
I
Coastal.
gotta-
Enough to get
You know what? Biscuits left me speechless.
I do that. A lot of
there
people.
anybody-
But yeah,
that-
I like the idea of a DJ chart. You know, I think it's a guy, you know,
Why?
and you can bring a couple of them. If you can produce in Jacksonville with that coach,
Has he produced though in Jacksonville? Really?
Didn't we
He
just
wasn't
get over
terrible.
that? Didn't we just get over that with A-Rob, bro?
Yeah, I guess.
So he had a decent season in 2019. 73 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. From Bear standards, that'd be pretty damn good. It's not bad.
I don't know.
I
just don't
3 years
see.
ago,
I
man.
don't see where you're going to get any help in.
Where's
the
he
draft.
ranked? Where's he ranked in the list?
He's kind of like middle.
Okay.
We only caught 7 passes this past year, so it's definitely a reclamation project at this point.
Can we get a breakdown on those 7 catches, Jer?
Sure.
Oddly enough, 7 catches for 154 and 2 touchdowns. So he averaged 22 yards a catch. That's
He's got
pretty
more.
explosive.
He's got more touchdowns than
Biscuits.
Kevin White,
So you're telling me
who I don't own a jersey of.
think about so he was injured this year, right?
yeah.
Okay. So think about this.
Jakub bringing the heat.
Yeah, but here, let me.
He is
make
fast
right-
as fuck though. His 40 is nasty. There we go.
Cool. But he's coming off injury, right?
Yes.
Injury to what?
Believe it was his knee.
4.3 speed, my ass. Okay. Let's keep going. We've been here before, right?
Broken
Oh, I
ankle.
know what you're saying.
Broken
Allen
ankle.
Robinson had a lot more speed when he first started. Got injured. Jacksonville, 2 guys coming off injury.
He was never
He was-
4.3,
Biscuits.
4.
Thank you, Jer. Thank you, Jer.
He was like 4.6 coming
Biscuits.
out of Penn State, and he would jump.
Biscuits.
He was a high point catcher.
Oh my God, Jer. We were talking about the same thing. Wide receiver, they did a lot with shitty quarterbacks.
I mean, they are
Well,
two
it's
different
not
receivers.
really-
There. A-Rob was like a possession guy.
It's an ankle.
Yeah, he had a broken ankle. Okay, thank you, Chris.
Cubes. Thank God somebody's in the research department. We
Thank
used to
you,
have
Dr.
a guy-
Yakub.
we
That
used to have
be me.
nuts and gravy, and
That
now
used to
he's
be me. All right.
elevated to whatever.
Knee or ankle, he's
That's
not
in
4.3
Yakub.
It doesn't matter. He's not 4.3 anymore either way, knee or ankle, right?
He
I
needs
mean,
a lot different to come back from.
I still think he can retain his speed.
There you go. South Elgin. Allen Robinson ran a 4.6 40.
There's a difference there. Chris said not Diddy pick, so it sucks.
He's got the flow going now, right?
I love Chris. He's such a
No,
good
Will
player.
Fuller's okay. Legit, Will Fuller. Let's talk about it.
I'm not opposed to him, dude. I'm just asking questions, and
That's
it's just
fine.
I think
funny.
it's fair.
just-
Come off a broken ankle. Would his speed be the same? I think it's a fair question to bring up.
All I'm saying is it's just funny that it's the same. It's in some ways it's the same as when we were talking about A-Rob. That's all I'm saying. A-Rob had good seasons here, so I'm not opposed to if he's going to add talent to the roster. Why the hell not?
Right on.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't counter on here, we're all going to be circle jerking. So deal with it, Yakub.
Wait, this is not a circle jerk.
Sploosh. Credits.
Sorry, I thought it
Scene.
was.
No, but I'm just trying to expand the conversation by
Right on.
playing devil's advocate.
That's cool. I'm just saying it's a guy that you could get on the cheap with a lot of upside.
You could have
That's
given
my
me shit
argument.
about, you should have given me shit about James. Could have given me shit about James Washington because he hasn't lived up to the expectations.
Well, he's also been limited to. I mean, I guess you can make the argument either way that his opportunities have been limited. Is it because he hasn't shown enough in the course of training camp, preseasons, and practices behind the scenes, or is it because of the pecking order in front of him? I thought the thing that disappointed me a little bit about James Washington is that when Mason Rudolph got time to play, I thought there would be a little bit more of that connection there between those two, and you just really didn't see it. Mason Rudolph was terrible.
I agree, and they're very good at developing wide receivers there.
Very good. Yeah, I don't think there's been a team. Them and the Packers have probably been the two best teams over the last 20 years developing wide receivers, without a doubt.
In their system, yes.
Correct.
So there you go, Mr. Yakub. I just countered my own thought just to even things out. It's not just my thoughts.
So what about some once upon a time big name veterans that are going to be on the open market? Do any of these names do anything for you? I'm going to give you five names. T.Y. Hilton, Emmanuel Sanders, A.J. Green, Sammy Watkins, and Deshaun Jackson with his four speed probably now. Any of those
Watkins,
names do anything
maybe.
for you?
I apologize. I forgot we were live with my live reactions to your names.
Not really.
Sure, it always comes back to the beginning.
I'm curious. To Marcus Robinson, what do you think about him? Kansas City guy.
I don't.
Ooh,
I don't
Okay.
think about. I don't think about him at all.
Okay. Fair
No,
enough.
I'm just saying in general. I've never thought about him, like literally.
It's
This
a
is
guy that
the
might
only-
get. It's a guy that might.
I'm gonna go ahead, Jer.
It's a guy that might get lost in the shuffle in Kansas City. He is a free agent, obviously.
I think we had also talked about him maybe coming aboard when Nagy was coming, because I think he was a free agent there in 2018, I believe.
Wait,
So
what'd you say Nagy was doing?
I was waiting for someone to call me out on that.
There it is.
I'm going to squirrel real quick because South Elgin brought up a really good point in the chat to counter Diddy's lack of faith in Chark speed. So Goodwin he says Goodwin always had all kinds of injuries, but he kept his speed, and I'm pretty sure he has the same leg injuries. He's had the same leg injuries.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not impossible. I mean, look at AP's. I know that's a unicorn example to use, but look at
South
AP's
Elgin.
explosion
South
after the
Elgin.
ACL.
May I say something? South Elgin needs to calm down because he's about to be the fifth member of the show if he keeps bringing it like that. For real, that's how Biscuits got his way in here. So be careful what you wish for, guys. If you're bringing us heat that benefits the show, you might be in here with us. That's all I'm saying.
It's probably the nicest thing Diddy's ever said about me.
I'm about to let Yakub join in too. We need to get him on sometime, man.
I'd love to get
A
you.
fans only show.
Fuck it,
Oh,
bring BK on here. We'll have a pod
We'll have,
orgy.
Sorry, I'm blanked out.
Open!
I'm working out the Twitter sphere right now, but
okay.
yeah, dude. I think honestly, if Yakub comes on, it should just be just Biscuits only for our OnlyFans because that's gonna get real
Josh.
hot and that's gonna
Josh
get hot
been
and sweaty.
lurking.
Jer.
Oh, Josh! Yeah, Josh. We didn't even see you in the chat, man.
Lurking. That's all
Josh can
good.
come on,
Josh is
too,
ready.
dude.
Josh is ready to throw heaters out there again.
Our only fans pod.
Trying to promote the OnlyFans pod. You guys are talking over me. Trying to finally make some money with this fucking thing.
Isn't that the whole funny thing though? Is that me and Chris always like talk over you and like squirrel out on random points? It's like,
Yeah, but I'm trying to
sort of
make you
ironic.
and Chris together alone. That might generate some that might generate some flow.
I'm down,
OnlyFans.
man. I'm down. You know what, Chris? I'm gonna have my people get in touch with your people. Josh, I just came.
Me too. All right.
And in the store, that's a really good idea. We'll have the Tailgate Show washcloths for everyone to be able to clean themselves up because there's a lot of that going on, Josh, this in the off season, buddy. It gets pretty sexy on here, so just warning everybody.
Oh shit.
But yeah, back to your point. No, none of those old fuckers. Anything. Nothing.
So none of those names do anything for you. Diddy, T.Y. Hilton doing anything for AJ Green, Emmanuel Sanders, probably the best name out of that bunch in terms of production still.
So you talk fast anyway, a little bit. So like your connection was lost a little bit there. So name them again.
Okay. I'm gonna talk
T.Y.
slower like Jair. T.Y.
Fuck you, man.
Hilton,
Oh shit. You went in.
Emmanuel Sanders,
No.
AJ Green,
Now you're talking my speed.
Sammy Watkins. Old Sammy Watkins.
Watkins, maybe.
Deshaun Jackson.
He's going heavy, dude. You're like Bama right now.
Yeah,
Bama
my
biscuits.
Indiana impersonation is Alabama. I don't know why. I'm sorry, Chair. My bad.
It's fine. I'm used to you, the new guy, trying to talk shit.
No, I don't know, man. The veterans, I don't know. What do you think of Jerry?
Jerry, you cut out there. I didn't hear a thing.
Watkins, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. there's nothing really great there. He hasn't really had a quarterback there either. So
That's a fair point, Jer. And look, he just trolled Lamar Jackson. That's hilarious.
he was hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
It was always he
yeah, I
didn't
don't
have
know if
any
he
talent.
Jesus, Jer. Sorry, I'm still working on the computer side here. Dude, you just can never resist, can you?
It's the easy one.
I
Jer
did kind of set him
Polian
up for
over
that
here.
one. That was nice, Jer.
Yeah. Jer Polian.
Why? Because I mentioned that the quarterback was injured.
With a smile on your face.
Oh.
A little smile.
Oh, God, you're brutal with him.
Hey, man, Dolphins showed you exactly what the fuck he was. They did.
I would argue the Titans did too in that playoff game, but I mean, Lamar Jackson's still a fucking MVP and a dynamic.
Absolutely a great playmaker with his feet and occasionally with his arm, but not enough with his arm.
Jer, he led the league
Jer,
in
he
pocket
led-
passing
yeah.
touchdowns in 2019.
And what?
bro.
Hold on.
Come on.
I got as many rings as he's got.
Oh, dude, you have as many rings as Dan Marino. Do you think you're going to go down there in Miami and huck the pill around like Dan did? Come on,
Fuck
man.
yeah, I can.
Fuck out of here, phony.
Throw a football fast as fuck.
Acting like you have the right to say anything about any good quarterback.
I don't know anything about a quarterback. You're right. You're absolutely correct.
We would love him.
I don't
there,
think
dude.
none of us know anything about quarterback, to be fair, Jer, not just you. None of us really fucking know.
he's
I actually have my diploma from the QB school, sir.
Oh.
And I've read Bill Belichick's dad's book on scouting.
JT
so
O'Sullivan pimped $1,500 out of your pocket? Is that what he did?
it was $5 for the month, actually. But I also read The Q Factor by Brian Billick, so there's that. Really building up a resume over here. So
let me think. Brian Billick he had a pretty good offense there for a while.
No, it's actually the Q Factor is actually a really cool book to read. If you guys, anybody out in chat hasn't read it, it's
whose book is that? Is that Billick's?
Brian Billick about finding a franchise quarterback. Like it's a really cool dive that he takes into it. He's a good writer, so definitely a good book to check out. But
He's got a good shadow writer.
What's that?
He's probably got a good shadow writer.
No, he's a smart dude, man.
Oh, I don't think he's not. I didn't say he was an idiot.
Damn, Jared's just like, why is it? Because Baltimore used to be the Colts back in the day.
I hate the fucking Colts.
Do you hate the Browns?
respect.
Do you hate the Browns?
I respect the Browns. I respect Baltimore.
The Ravens are the Browns.
Oh no shit.
I'm
Our
just saying,
model
like,
moved it. I was there.
Why are you being?
I was there.
You were there in Baltimore when the move
Yes,
happened?
I was there.
Whoa.
I was not
Damn,
there.
Jared. He's hating on every like Ravens, Colts. Hate.
I got tons of hate stored up.
Guess so.
Evidently.
Cranky old man.
You know who else I hate?
Why do you hate the Colts? Because Jared's like one of them self-hating Indianans. Indianans? Is that what it is?
Pre-Super Bowl, everybody's like around here loves the Colts. And they all were all these fucking Peyton Manning fans. That's what it turned out to be. They ain't real fans. They ain't real fans. Now, this current younger group of fans, maybe. A lot of Peyton Manning fans, not many Colts fans around here.
So you're saying you can only be a real fan if you've rooted for a shitty fucking team like us for 30, 40 years.
I grew up on the Bears, man. I'm just saying, I grew up on the Bears. That's my team. If it ain't my team, fuck them.
It's the same thing here, Biscuits. Like if you ask a Patriot fan, most Patriots fans can't tell you who the coach before Belichick was.
Right. There were people in this state wearing a blue and orange 1 and 8 for Peyton Manning. Fuck all that.
What?
Fuck all that. Oh yeah.
Blue and orange. Like a
whenever blue, Colts blue on one half,
Oh, they have
Broncos
Brady
orange on the
jerseys like
other
that in
side.
New England.
I see
Yeah,
what
they,
you mean.
they did that in New
It's just
England too
like,
with Brady.
if that dude
Yeah, the
was
Tampa, New England
Half
jerseys.
Tampa, half New England. Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck those people.
Oh, don't act like if somebody won multiple Super Bowls for us, we wouldn't have half and halves too. Come, God.
I
They-
would
they-
never own a half and half.
I'm
It
not
was-
gonna lie, I would never own a half and half jersey.
I would never. You know what? I would admire that quarterback from afar, but I
don't-
would not if he. Nope.
If you had Tom
He's
Brady,
gone.
if you had a quarterback
Bro.
win you 6 Super Bowls,
No, I'm still not wearing another team's colors, dude. I've fondled
Never.
Brady's balls on this pod for like the last like fucking 6 months.
Facts.
I
You'd
don't
wear
even
a-
own a Brady jersey now.
you'd wear the split Brady.
I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't wear the split Brady jersey.
No.
Do you own an NFL?
I'm not wearing other team's
jersey?
colors. Won't do it.
Do you own an NFL
It's
jersey,
meathead,
not
but
the
I wouldn't
Bears?
do it. No, I do not.
I do not.
Not a single one.
I do.
Only other football jersey I own is the Coastal
What?
football jersey.
What?
I do.
Ooh,
Really?
George, Eddie George, man. I love that dude as a player.
Like the old school jersey?
The old school Titans jersey.
The old
not
school
the- not
Titans
the Oilers.
jersey?
Yeah.
Nice.
Have I ever owned one in the past? Yes, I have.
Oh, I've
owned
had
one.
it since Eddie was playing, dude.
And I gave it to a Bucks fan.
I think it was like Eddie George's second
All-Star?
or third year in the league.
Was it all stop? Nice, Jer.
Oh, Purdue.
Hey, I admired All-Star. He was a hell of a player.
All right, that's interesting.
Well, I was never a fan of that team. I was a fan. I could admire his style of play.
It takes a special pony to get in pony stable, is what you're saying.
Aren't you concerned though about like walking out of your house with an Eddie George jersey and people are like, oh man, big Titans fan, huh? Like I don't want to be mistaken for anything other than a fucking loser Bears fan.
So he ain't wearing that shit outside in public.
No, it'd be like I had a lot of respect for the Titans after that Super Bowl. I liked Eddie George. He reminded me the running style was similar to Walter, where he just balled, man.
Eddie
I
George
don't
was
know.
fun to watch. That Titans
Yeah.
team was fun to watch, man. Kevin
I watched him
Dyson,
at Ohio State,
Frank
man. That
Whitehead.
Ohio State,
Well,
that
it was
Ohio
like
State team he was on was stacked, man.
they were tough, like the Bears teams of old. So it was like once the Bears were out, they were an interesting team for me as a Bears fan to watch.
I could
Yeah.
get, yeah, I respect the Titans. I get that, yeah.
So
Question from the
Be-
chat.
BK.
Well, I
Go ahead,
know BK says, will you buy Sunday ticket next season whenever it pops up?
it was free this year for me with DirecTV. They're struggling to hold customers. So like if you pay for DirecTV right now, they're just gonna probably give it to you until they drop it. I think they have it one
I
more
got a
year,
discount on the
right?
screen.
What's that?
Yeah, I think this is the last year that DirecTV will have it before. I think it goes over to
2023, right?
Disney
I think you're
Plus.
right. Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
Apple didn't win it. I thought they were going.
I
hard
thought it
for
was I could be wrong. I thought it was
It
Disney
may not
Plus.
be decided yet. It very well may not be decided. I don't know. So
Yeah, once it drops
I'll
the stream,
probably pay.
I'm canceling DirecTV once it drops the stream.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
their
looking
app
at
is garbage too, by the way.
I don't need live
Um,
TV. If my wife wants,
No, I'm
live
saying
TV
that the Sunday Ticket app is garbage. Like the streaming app.
Absolutely.
No,
I will. I haven't missed a game in like near 25, 26 years, and I'm out of market down here in South Carolina, so I'm not gonna. It's cheaper for me to buy the Sunday Ticket and keep my ass at home on the couch than it is for me to go out to the sports bar and drink too much.
So I've never had
and
trouble with their
eat
app
too
though.
much. Really?
Mm.
I think it's real finicky a lot of the times. Maybe it's just me and Jer's Methernet.
Well, it's just I've had it in Chicago where we've tried to stream something over it and it's spotty and glitchy, and I've never. It's just not a very smooth app, in my opinion, but that's okay.
I agree.
And that's app talk.
It works well on an iPad. I will say that.
There you go.
But what doesn't? Jared hates Apple too, so he doesn't get
I
functionality.
don't hate Apple. I'm using an iMac right now, you fuck. God.
For phones, you do.
So BK's right. DirecTV's right to Sunday Ticket does expire this year, and the future home of the streaming service has yet to be decided.
So it'd be 2023.
So there's that.
GoFu it is.
So yeah, I probably won't have to buy it because DirecTV doesn't want to lose customers.
Oh, they're
So
about to lose a bunch of them.
If this is the last season they're carrying it, is that what you're saying, Biscuits? And Biscuits went too far.
Oh, well.
See if we can hear it through the closet.
So what do you think about anything else? I mean, we're an hour in. It's a struggle. Harbaugh didn't go to Minnesota.
I think that's awesome, actually. I love watching them get played. They were all up in our mentions, like Bears fans going at them, like bragging, like having this victory lap, and Harbaugh says, "Peace."
Nope. And then Minnesota, by the same token, didn't offer him a job.
I mean, McCaskey's looking smarter than our rival.
Yep, I do agree with that.
Because I mean, the rumor was he talked to Jim, and the price was way too crazy that they didn't want to entertain the discussion. But Minnesota's like, and I had somebody was saying that like he expected this like grand entrance thing to happen when he got there, and it was a straight interview in Minnesota.
Yeah. Not surprising. Wilfs. The Wilfs they will throw their money around a lot. I mean, they've obviously done that with Kirk Cousins and with other players. So the idea that they would have splurged on a guy like Harbaugh is not surprising to me. But it's also, I think it's more surprising that they didn't. Which I was like, fuck yeah. I'm sorry. I was never a Harbaugh to Chicago guy, but I was never going to be a Harbaugh to anywhere else guy. You know, it's like in the division, that would have just been like salt in the wound.
I guess so, man. When I heard 10 years, 100 million.
Yeah, I was good on that. It's like, yeah, good.
He's a high burnout rate guy, so like I don't think he would last that contract.
Oh,
Snoop
looks
Biscuits.
like you're having a.
Look,
Are
boys.
you having a Super Bowl over there?
I mean, we're talking about some really off the wall shit here, so I figured I would just get in the zone. You know.
Thought you left the fart, man.
No mutant toot. No mutant toot over here. Shout out AA.
So we're just talking about Harbaugh stiffing the Vikings. And the Vikings stiffing him back.
You love to see it. Love to see it.
But how would you have felt as a Bears fan seeing Harbaugh on the sidelines at Minnesota?
I mean, not from like a nostalgia, like, oh my God, no, a former Bear is roaming the sideline. Like, I wouldn't give two shits about that. I would just feel like, damn, they actually have a pretty competent coach there with a decent amount of talent there on the offensive side of the ball to work with.
Then that would have bothered me as Vic.
Yeah.
That if that was the guy he was bringing over, yeah, that could have been very bad for us.
He didn't, though. He said, "Nah, I'm going back to Michigan. To my mediocre offense, my mediocre defense."
He said it like that?
Yes, he did, because he's a fucking redneck just like me. Where's them khakis too tight? Boys.
I mean, I think he look, I think you could say he rubs people the wrong way. BK in the chat says he's eccentric. He's a big personality. There's a lot of ego that comes along with him, but he still is a pretty damn good football coach. And I'd much rather see Minnesota rolling the dice on a guy like Kevin O'Donnell, who's never called plays or anything like that, making a huge leap up.
We're doing the same thing.
Doing the exact same thing, correct? Yeah. How do you feel about that hire, Jer, that they made? What's the pulse from Wyatt looking like?
Oh, they're pretty happy about it.
Really?
Yeah, good offensive coordinator off the McVay tree. McVay tree seems to pay out right now.
Yeah.
So they're being positive. As they should be, They have more pieces than we do. What Polian say we have like 6 blue chip pieces,
I think he said 6 to
and
8. Yep,
you need 10 to 12.
correct. So
Can we even name 6 to 8?
So that's a good point, Jer. So who on offense comes to mind for you, Jer, for blue chip players?
Well, I mean, if you believe Justin Fields is what he has to be one, right?
I think you have to consider him at the even rookie season withstanding. I think a lot of people are looking at him that way. I think that's fair.
So there's one. Darnell Mooney would probably be 2. I think that's a guy you can build around.
Okay.
David Montgomery, 3.
So build around or blue chip. I just want to specify.
Well,
And everyone in the chat, please give your opinions too. Because I'm curious. Oh.
You are curious.
City is in the
You're very
zone.
curious. You're very curious with Jakub, actually.
Listen, I'm curious about a lot of things, folks. Except rare assorted meats.
so
where are we going?
we're talking 6 to 8. Are we talking 6 to 8? We're not talking 6 to 8 on both sides. So
No, I'm just saying.
Right?
Yeah, starting on offense. Who are your blue chip players?
I guess it's Fields and Mooney, and I think that Montgomery's replacement level.
Arrived or potential?
Potential for prospect for future growth and development. From a talent and ability standpoint, I think you have to put Fields in there. Even though the rookie year was rough, you have to. He's easily the most talented quarterback the Bears have ever drafted.
PK has a good point. Definitely Jimmy Graham.
BK, what are we going to do without that Jimmy Graham stat tracker this year? We're going to have to come up with a new. Maybe it'll shift to Cole Kmet, but then the Kmet Legion will come after us.
Nah, he's got to produce this year.
Anybody on offense? So Fields, Mooney, Montgomery.
I think it's Fields and Mooney. I don't think even Montgomery's on there.
You can't compare him to the rest of the league. You got to compare him to the Bears. So yeah, Mooney, Justin. Do we have to do 3 on each side?
No.
Just name who you think right now are the blue chip players that we have
on the offensive side.
On both.
And real quick, we're gonna segue later to Jer's point about Montgomery because that was also a pretty hot button topic this week.
Yeah,
I think we should talk about that later.
We're just doing 6.
It doesn't have to be 6. Even if you just come up with 3 total, then you have 3 total. I'm asking you guys who you think.
You want the total on both sides of the ball?
What if
now.
We were starting on offense.
Sorry,
I think we can go to defense.
said 3 or 6. I was out.
He said 6, I believe. 6 to 8, right?
6 to 8. So on offense, Fields, Mooney. Defense,
Roquan.
Mac, Roquan. Jalen.
Quinn.
I don't know how you can't say Quinn when he just set the Bears season sack record. You have to. Age withstanding, you have to.
And maybe Eddie Jackson, if he ever gets back to it.
You said Jalen already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quan, Mac, Jalen, Quinn, and Bojack.
I'm not going Bojack.
I don't know who else you would put on there to get to 8. I mean, he's borderline. He was an all-pro at one point.
6.
I mean, that's 6. You're not. I mean, it's a stretch to get to 8, and you need 10 to 12.
I guess in this scenario, you got to put Monty in there too, so that there's your 6 for me, because it would be Monty, Mooney, Justin.
I think you're going to watch. I think
Roquan, Jalen, Quinn, and Mac. So I got 7 off the top.
I think it all it all depends on how you define blue chip player. Like as a prospect coming out, how high did you view Tevin Jenkins?
I forgot to say Cairo Santos. There's my 8th, Chris.
Ooh,
you're right.
Cairo.
Here we got BK's got 4. He's got Quinn Johnson. Smith and Mack. Josh in the chat has Fields, Roquan, Quinn Mack. That's all he can think of. And he said he forgot about Jalen. And then
So it's
Yakub,
like 5. O'Donnell.
overpriced Pat O'Donnell.
No, I like his vibe with the special teams. It's important, man. I like the vibe.
I want a punter
He's
with
the
more hang
busiest player.
time.
I want a punter that doesn't take forever to fucking punt. And let's talk about the running back position.
And that's punter talk.
David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Is he irreplaceable?
That was the longest introduction with no segue with no wheels, I guess. David Montgomery, just a long pause. Like, yeah, and
Is he irreplaceable? Do you think you could get more out of Khalil Herbert than you could David Montgomery?
how many running backs in the NFL aren't replaceable?
That's why you can't be a blue chipper.
Yeah. I can maybe give you 2.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's awesome. He's awesome. Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
But
Tennessee did. Go ahead, Jer.
they brought him back too soon in that playoff game. What did he do? Not much.
I mean,
Some
they won a
overall
lot of
body
games.
You're talking about guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Man, Jer. Whew.
I mean, they won a lot of games without him, but they were winning them much differently than what they were with him.
Biscuits. Pony's gonna have to take care of Pony after this show. He seems like he needs it bad. He's
It's a struggle on this show right now.
That's why you got to get in the zone, man.
Just keep going.
He's like,
yeah.
it makes me hate Indiana worse, boys.
King Henry is about it, and even then,
No, the dude from the Colts, nasty.
Jonathan Taylor pretty much
Jonathan
carried that team.
Taylor. Yeah, that offensive line pretty much carried that team.
But does a Derrick Henry or a Jonathan Taylor make the argument against David Montgomery even higher? The fact that
he's
neither
not
one of
any of those players. That's for sure.
not only that, but neither one of those guys were drafted in the first round. I think if you look at the conversation, is he elite or not? I think the more important conversation is he replaceable at a value that far outweighs the contract you're going to give him when he's due for an extension.
See, when we talk elite, I compare elite to the rest of the league, right? Not just elite within Bears history. And even then, that's Forte was highly underrated on the all-time list. I don't.
Correct.
I like Monty, man. I do. I mean, Jordan Howard. People were saying he was elite. Like, elite gets thrown around very easily. I think he's a very, very, very good running back. Elite.
We're a fan base starved for talent, just like a team is.
No, but I'm saying positionally, like 2 to 3 are really super elite players. Like elite's like. Do I think he's a generational running back? No.
No.
Do I think he's on a top 10 consistent? Yes.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's top 10, man.
No, I think he is.
Come on now.
I think he is.
Come on now.
But that's
okay. Let's count 10 running backs, shall we?
Okay, Henry. Let's just go ahead and get that one out of the way.
Henry. Let's go to
Dalvin.
Cincinnati.
Okay, Mixon.
I'd take Mixon. I'd take Dalvin.
Okay, it's 3.
Let's see.
Kamara.
Yep. Well, no, I wouldn't. please
Cook,
take care of him.
Hey, we're acting like Cook doesn't have some things against his Mixon. So, and that's my whole thing is I am very much
Kamara, maybe not anymore, but
well, he had a little legal issue there.
If you're in a keeper league, you might not want to keep him.
No, you might want to drop him.
I mean, keep thinking about your 10, but what I'm saying is I do think running back is one of the most easily replaceable positions. You can see.
What about the running back in Las Vegas?
Josh Jacobs, no way,
I'd
dude.
probably-
Really? Oh, I don't know.
He's
about
more
that one.
explosive. Josh Jacobs ain't getting caught from behind.
But the thing you're getting with David
You're trying to say
Montgomery
there.
goes farther than just his natural ability, though. He's a tone setter. He is a leader, and he's a guy that if you do pay a second contract to, he is not going to be a loafer. David Montgomery is always going to come to work. I think that's the pro argument you can make to keeping a guy like that is his value extends beyond just his ability on the field. Just saying.
That's cool. Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
I'm pretty choked up after that one.
But why don't you take a wait and see approach on him? Nothing says you have to move him this year. Keep him this
No,
year.
you don't move him this year. No.
The compensatory pick if he leaves is going to be the same, if not higher, than if you were to trade him right now in the last year of his deal.
Yeah.
Will Eddie Jackson break Flus's all-time coaching record for loafs?
He will not get a T-shirt. Is that what you're asking me? No, I don't. I mean, I like the idea. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like fucking Montgomery. I do, but I think you could get Khalil Herbert, who's a home run hitter. Who's the last Bears running back to rush for 100 yards? Guess who it ain't?
Oh, it's Khalil Herbert, right?
Yeah. Herbert.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones. Take Aaron Jones. You might take both. Would you take both running backs at Green Bay before you would take David Montgomery?
No.
You definitely take Aaron Jones, though.
Yeah.
So now we're at 7. I mean,
he's there, dude.
Is it? I don't, man. I guess. I think you get more out of Khalil Herbert, and the longer you wait.
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
Jared,
yes.
if he was from Indiana, would you feel different?
No.
Really, because Jordan Howard,
Tony
was like Ewing in the paint.
First running back in Bears history rushed for 1,000 yards in his first 2 seasons as a running back. I think I had every reason to.
Oh.
But what did letting go of Jordan Howard show you? That you could just replace him and a guy like Monty. Yeah. Then maybe the plan is roll with Herbert, give him more carries this year coming up, and then you draft another guy in the 3rd to 5th round.
I think it's going to be very telling to see what this coaching staff does. I mean, we're going to find out a lot coming up in free agency. I don't know what the free agency running back list looks like. Maybe we'll tackle that next week.
I mean, Chris is right in the chat. I do miss Raheem Mostert. Not going to lie.
But was he better than David Montgomery?
He had a moment.
He did have a moment.
So we couldn't even name 9 other guys then.
I'd say he's top 10 in the league. I'm not trying to be a homer.
Let me get some stats here.
What about Najee Harris? I put Taylor on.
Yes, Najee Harris all day.
People gave me shit when I said if we can't draft a quarterback in the first round, we should take Najee.
But is Najee better right now than David Montgomery is? I think you can easily look at it and say, I think pretty confidently that Najee is going to end up being better long term. But right here, right now, I think I would struggle to put Najee over David Montgomery.
Najee had almost 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah, and he had a dog shit line. I know that, but
I think he was well over 1,000 yards.
Here we go. Right? Jonathan Taylor, yes. Nick Chubb, yes. Joe Mixon, yes. Najee Harris, yes. Antonio Gibson.
No.
From the 49ers.
You mean the Washington Commanders, Antonio Gibson?
Yeah, that guy.
That still sounds like shit. I'm going to call him the
Washington. When Jared starts researching, Jerry ain't letting it go.
Ezekiel Elliott.
You're taking his over. Fuck, not right now. Hell no.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Damian Harris or Melvin Gordon?
No and no.
Austin Eckler.
Oof.
Yeah, you do. Because you're a PPR whore.
That's a
because you're a fantasy football slut. You're a
But
fantasy football slut,
he
blinded by your
just
fantasy football bullshit.
Austin Eckler's a really good back, man. I was totally wrong about that guy. I think it's at least an interesting name to throw in that range.
He's top 10. Stop it.
So yeah, that's 8 guys
He's right outside
there.
the top.
He's
Oh,
10,
okay.
8, 9, 10, somewhere in there.
Jared just wants me to say 11 and we'll move on, but I'm not letting go.
Chris said
Okay.
Jared about to pick Barry Gibson over Monty.
Yep. If he gets open.
So now we learned tonight
Would
that
you
Jared
take Kareem?
hates David
Would you
Montgomery
take-
as much as Lamar Jackson.
I don't hate David Montgomery.
I'm
Would you
just
take
fucking
Would you
with
take Kareem Hunt over David Montgomery? I'm
you
gonna
say-
go right down through this. Kareem Hunt.
No.
No, I wouldn't. Talented guy, but would probably show a lot more.
Taylor
Not
As your
behind
main-
that Chubb,
as
but
your-
no.
I don't know if he would. I think it's a perfect role for him.
You think so? I don't know. I mean, he carried the main load pretty fucking well in Kansas City that year.
Pause.
Just saying. Yeah, Josh, Nick Chubb. Yeah, I think we have him on the list. Yep. So far, you got Henry, Cook, Mixon, CMC, Taylor, Najee, Chubb, Eckler, and I guess you have to throw Kamara on there.
Montgomery has to.
I forgot the
Montgomery-
best running back in the.
Montgomery has to be part of building this going forward, though. He's going to help Justin out so much once we get the O-line settled.
I agree. Yeah.
I forgot the best running back of them all.
I just
He
think
could
in
be
your void of
Forte for
talent
us.
right now.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
What?
That's the last running back. It's Lamar Jackson.
You're such an asshole,
Fuck
dude.
out of here. Get the fuck out of here. This fucking guy.
The dude, if he had the season he had when he won MVP in Chicago, we wouldn't know what to do with ourselves.
That was
dude.
just for shtick. That's fine.
I'm saying, but that he's top in the league, and when he's on, he's also throwing just as many TDs as a top guy, yardage wise. Plus, he'll probably get 1,200 yards rushing and multiple touchdowns.
Not only that, I mean, like, look at his weapons. I mean, outside of Mark Andrews and I guess Marquise Brown's
Look at his
okay.
weapons. He was healthy versus the Dolphins, and the Dolphins exposed him. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, God.
All right, let's wrap this bitch up.
Jared's gonna drop all that nonsense and then try and rush off the pod in victory.
Fuck everything. Fuck football.
I don't like
Fuck
that.
this podcast. Let's wrap it up.
Hey,
Fuck the Colts. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
well, damn.
All right. And that's just been another episode. Thank you, everybody, that
No.
joined in on the chat. And
Josh,
God-
BK,
God
Yoku,
bless you.
South Elgin. Appreciate y'all.
God bless you for getting through this. We'll talk about running backs later, but
that's just another episode of The Tailgate Show. Good job,
Oh,
guys.
is
you
it me?
fucks.
Jared
Yeah.
usually goes second, man. Quarterback. I had nothing else, boys.
oh, the fuck. Let's just end this. Good night.
The zone.